When Stephen Hawking spoke about the universe, the world listened. This brilliant mind, trapped in a failing body, gave us some of the most important ideas about space, time, and what lies beyond our earthly existence. But what many people don't know is how his scientific discoveries might actually point us toward understanding something much bigger, the possibility of life after death itself. Before we dive deeper into this fascinating topic, I want to ask you to do something. Please leave a comment below telling me which country or city you're watching from right now. I love connecting with viewers from around the world, and it helps me understand who's part of our community. Also, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps spread these important ideas to more people who might benefit from them. Stephen Hawking spent his entire career trying to solve the biggest puzzle in science. How does the universe actually work? He wasn't just looking at stars and planets. He was digging into the very fabric of reality itself. And what he found might surprise you, especially when it comes to what happens to us after we die. Think about this for a moment. Hawking proved that information, the very essence of what makes you who you are, cannot be destroyed. This isn't just theory. This is scientific law. Just like energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changed from one form to another, the same rule applies to information. Your memories, your personality, your consciousness, all of this is information. And according to Hawking's work, this information must go somewhere when your physical body stops working. This discovery came from his research on black holes. These cosmic giants were supposed to destroy everything that fell into them. But Hawking proved this wasn't true. Even black holes, the most destructive forces in the universe, must preserve information. They can't simply erase it from existence. If black holes can't destroy information, then nothing can. This means the information that makes you who you are continues to exist, even after your body is gone. But where does this information go? This is where Hawking's work gets really interesting. He discovered that our universe is connected to other dimensions we can't see or touch. These aren't fantasy worlds from science fiction movies. These are real places that exist right alongside our own reality. Think of it like radio waves. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there, carrying music and voices through the air around you right now. Hawking showed us that space and time are not fixed, solid things. They bend and stretch like rubber. They can be twisted, folded, and even torn apart. This means there are pathways between different parts of reality that we're only just beginning to understand. When your physical body ends, the information that is you doesn't just disappear. It transitions through these cosmic pathways to somewhere else entirely. Consider what happens to water when it gets hot enough. It doesn't stop existing. It changes from liquid to steam and rises into the air. The water is still there, just in a different form. Hawking's research suggests something similar happens to human consciousness. Death might not be an ending at all, but a transformation from one state of being to another. This connects to something Hawking discovered about the nature of time itself. Most people think time moves in a straight line from past to present to future. But Hawking proved this isn't true. Time can loop back on itself, can slow down, speed up, and even stop completely. In some parts of the universe, time runs backwards. This means past, present, and future might all be happening at the same time, just in different dimensions. If time works this way, then the people we've lost aren't really gone. They exist in a different part of the cosmic structure, where time flows differently than it does here. Your grandmother who passed away last year might be experiencing all the moments of her life simultaneously in another dimension. The child who died too young might be growing up and living a full life in a place where time has no limits. Hawking also discovered something incredible about the vacuum of space. What we think of as empty space isn't actually empty at all. It's full of energy and particles that pop in and out of existence faster than we can measure. This cosmic background is like a vast ocean of possibility, where new realities are constantly being born and dissolved. This quantum foam, as scientists call it, might be where consciousness goes when it leaves the physical body. Your thoughts, memories, and sense of self could become part of this cosmic ocean, continuing to exist and even to grow and change in ways we can't imagine from our limited perspective here on Earth. Think about dreams for a moment. When you dream, you experience a reality that feels completely real while you're in it. You can see, hear, feel, and even smell things that don't exist in the physical world. Yet these experiences are absolutely real to you while they're happening. Hawking's work suggests that what we call the afterlife might be similar, a state of consciousness that operates by different rules than our waking life, but is no less real or meaningful. The physicist discovered that particles can exist in multiple places at the same time until they're observed. This is called superposition, and it's one of the strangest facts about our universe. A single particle can be spinning clockwise and counterclockwise simultaneously until someone measures it. Only then does it choose one state or the other. This might explain why near-death experiences are so consistent across different cultures and religions. People report seeing deceased relatives, traveling through tunnels of light, and experiencing a sense of universal love and understanding. If consciousness can exist in superposition like particles do, then dying might simply be the moment when our awareness expands to experience all possible states of being at once. Hawking spent years studying something called the holographic principle. This scientific concept suggests that all the information contained in a volume of space can be stored on its boundary, like a hologram. In simpler terms, everything that happens inside a sphere can be completely described by information stored on its surface. This means our three-dimensional world might actually be a projection from information stored in higher dimensions. If this is true, then death might be like stepping back from a movie screen and seeing the projector for the first time. What we experience as solid, physical reality could be just a shadow cast by much larger, more complex dimensions where consciousness truly exists. When the body dies, awareness simply returns to its source in these higher realms. This connects to ancient wisdom that Hawking science seems to confirm. Many spiritual traditions teach that physical life is like a school where souls come to learn and grow. When the lesson is complete, consciousness returns to its true home in a higher reality. Hawking's equations suggest this isn't just beautiful poetry, it might be scientific fact. The great physicist also proved that the universe is far stranger and more interconnected than anyone imagined. He showed that particles can be entangled with each other across vast distances. When something happens to one particle, its entangled partner instantly responds, even if it's on the other side of the galaxy. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, but Hawking proved it's real. This quantum entanglement might explain how people sometimes feel the presence of deceased loved ones. If consciousness can become entangled across dimensions the way particles do, then the bonds of love might literally connect us to those who have transitioned to other states of being. The feeling that your departed spouse is still with you might not be wishful thinking, it might be quantum physics in action. Hawking discovered that black holes actually evaporate over time through a process now called Hawking radiation. They slowly release energy back into the universe until they completely disappear. But the information they contained doesn't vanish with them. It gets encoded into the radiation and continues to exist in new forms throughout space and time. This could be a perfect model for what happens during death. The physical body might be like a black hole that eventually evaporates, but the information it contained, your memories, personality, and consciousness, gets released back into the cosmic background as a new kind of energy that continues to exist and even evolve in dimensions beyond our current understanding. Recent discoveries in quantum mechanics support this idea even further. Scientists have found that consciousness might not be produced by the brain at all, but rather received by it, like a radio picking up signals from a distant station. The brain might be more like an antenna than a generator of awareness. If this is true, then when the brain stops functioning, consciousness doesn't end, it simply stops being filtered through that particular biological receiver. Hawking's work on the multiverse theory adds another layer to this picture. He proved mathematically that our universe is just one of countless others, each with slightly different physical laws and possibilities. In some of these parallel universes, the people we've lost might still be alive and thriving. Death in our reality might simply be a transition to continued existence in another version of the cosmic story. This isn't just abstract theory. Hawking's equations have been tested and proven accurate time and time again. His predictions about black holes, gravitational waves, and the expansion of the universe have all been confirmed by observation. If he was right about these things, why wouldn't he be right about information preservation and the existence of higher dimensions? The implications are profound and comforting. The grandmother who taught you to bake cookies, the friend who made you laugh during difficult times, the child who brought joy to your life, none of them are truly gone. They exist in a state of being that's beyond our current ability to perceive, but no less real than the chair you're sitting in or the device you're watching this on. Hawking himself seemed to find peace in these discoveries during his final years. Despite being told he would die young from his disease, he lived decades longer than doctors predicted and produced his most important work during that time. He often spoke about consciousness being more fundamental than matter, suggesting that who we are transcends the physical limitations of our bodies. The scientist's final paper, published after his death, dealt with the eternal nature of information and its role in creating multiple universes. Even in his last work, he was exploring how consciousness and reality connect across dimensions we can barely imagine. His legacy isn't just about black holes and the Big Bang, it's about proving scientifically that something essential about us continues beyond physical death. Modern technology is starting to catch up with Hawking's theories in remarkable ways. Quantum computers work by manipulating information in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Scientists are beginning to create artificial neural networks that might help us understand how consciousness operates across different levels of reality. We're even starting to detect gravitational waves that carry information across the cosmos in ways that confirm Hawking's most advanced predictions. All of this points toward a universe that's far more alive and interconnected than previous generations understood. Death isn't a wall that blocks further existence. It's a doorway that leads to experiences we can barely imagine from our current perspective. The information that makes you who you are is written into the very structure of space and time itself, making it literally impossible for you to ever truly cease to exist. Hawking showed us that the universe operates on principles of preservation and transformation, not destruction and ending. Energy changes form but continues forever. Information reshapes itself but never disappears. If these are the fundamental laws of reality, then consciousness, the most complex form of information we know, must follow the same rules. This understanding transforms how we think about loss and grief. When someone we love dies, we're not losing them forever. We're simply losing our ability to perceive them in their current form. They continue to exist in dimensions that operate by different rules than our everyday world. The love we shared, the memories we created, the impact they had on our lives. All of this is information that becomes part of the eternal cosmic story. Hawking's science suggests that reunion with deceased loved ones isn't just a hope or belief, it's a mathematical certainty. In a multiverse where information is preserved and consciousness transcends physical boundaries, every relationship continues in some form across the vast network of connected realities that make up the true structure of existence. The physicist spent his career proving that the universe is far more mysterious and wonderful than anyone imagined. His final gift to humanity might be the scientific foundation for understanding that death is not an ending, but a transformation into something even more remarkable than the life we currently know. The cosmic code of the afterlife isn't written in ancient texts or religious traditions. It's encoded in the fundamental laws of physics themselves. As we reach the end of our exploration today, I want to thank you for taking this journey with me into some of the deepest questions about existence and what lies beyond our physical lives. Stephen Hawking's revolutionary work continues to open new doors in our understanding of consciousness, death, and the possibility of life beyond what we can currently perceive. If this content has given you a new perspective or brought you some comfort regarding these profound topics, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me continue bringing you content that explores the intersection of science and the biggest questions about human existence. And don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts about what we've discussed today. I read every comment and love hearing your perspectives on these fascinating subjects.